Boom, 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 boom. Boom, ba-da-da-doo-doo. Ba-da-doo. Ba-da-doo. Ba-da-da, boom, 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 boom. Ba-da, ba-da, boom, 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 boom. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba. Hello, hey everybody, social media family. Being of any subscribers to that being of my own immediate personal social media channel, and any visitors likewise as well are all the same. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay, if not better yet to be said, to be feeling all right. If not best of all to be said, to be feeling less than stressed, more blessed than stressed, too blessed to possibly become or be stressed. You and your family, friends, hope me and mine likewise as well, all the same. But then hold that thought. Before I really go any further, I'd like to interject this here right quick. Please, whoever you are and how many that keeps doing that, popping up on my channel, if not equal as well in my chat room, and then just that quick within that same minute pops off my channel, pops out of my chat room. Don't do that. It shows disrespect for my own social media channel. And I just wish you would stay on or in longer so that after a while I could figure out whether or not you are true blue or are you one of them or are you one of us. Because if you're coming off like some kind, sort, or type of a character of an internet troll, then from there I'm going to silence your chat. And then furthermore, if you persist to, come off like as if you're scoping or stalking me, because those are the actions of a stalker, then from there I will block you permanently. But then whoever keeps doing that and how many, you're a coward. That's what you are, You only pop in to check on me like you some kind of stalker. If you only think to pop in just that quick, literally actually a couple few seconds. I kid you all not. That's what certain visitors to that being on my social media channel do. They pop in then pop out just that quick. And so now I'm thinking that whoever does that and how many could possibly be some such a likes of, like say, to be compared on to the dime a dozen public nuisances of problem neighbors, especially this one particular proverbial neighbor from damn hell, like he wants to, check me out, see what I'm wearing and everything, so that he could be like stalking me out in the street or something, you know. Yeah, I suspect him of having become or being one of my stalkers as well as crank callers, you know. Anyway, though, moving right along, and as I was saying, you know, then I'm supposed to have been getting ready to, before then, before I decided to do this one particular present social media broadcast or video. Found a totally different content. No, it's not about how a proverbial neighbor from hell, or one of the dime a dozen public nuisance of problem neighbors, has managed to fool the management of the building or real estate representative personnel to give me, that being a walking papers, a paperwork documents of an eviction notice that he should have received much rather instead. And whereas the management personnel or real estate representative had informed me that he himself supposedly had moved out, yet I'm still hearing the same noises come from that same units having to replace the regular apartment or whoever the new tenant is. Okay. But anyway, though, yeah, this here is a spanking baby bottoms brand new content of a social media broadcast or video, Okay? Just want you all to know that. Believe it or not, regardless of what I'm going through of a life crisis, of a dilemma where I have to find for myself another available apartment vacancy before the deadline, and likewise before I were to possibly become or be of the statistical racial percentiles or percentages of the daily transients, as in to be translated to be defined as many of the homeless. God forbid. Been there, done that, don't want to do it again. Anytime too soon, again. Because I've never been homeless by choice. But this character managed to pull the wool over the eyes of the management of the building where I'm presently at as a tenant for a place rather than an apartment, to assume that I am the troublemaker that oneself has been coming off as for the longest. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah, and as I think of it, with that in my intention, if I backtrack here with a purpose again, in order so I can go into following to continue from where and when that my person had last left off, so I could work things out and complete a form of previous pride line thought. Since a word. Yeah, I mean, maybe wearing something like this. Yeah. Yeah, apartment searching. This, along with different sets of clothing on different days. And when I'm homeless, in case it prevents anything from happening to me, this is the best. I'm saying. Anyway, go on. Yeah, moving right along, y'all. So I say, for that summer, such a given moment in time, in which I had already explained to you all what that being the present social media broadcast or video will be about. As from time to time, I will manage or try to squeeze in a different content of social media broadcast or video. No, though it's not likely. Though it's not likely I will produce as many social media broadcast or video like I would have in times past before the present like crisis with my person having received an eviction notice, whereas then because of that paperwork, I would have to allot more of my time to apartment searching, you know. Whereas whenever I can squeeze time in, or not so much as find time, but make time, it'd be very little compared to how very much of my time, more than less of it, would be spent upon apartment searching once I were to get my other moving papers so far as a housing voucher coming from a housing organization that helps, you know, residents within city limits find affordable apartment vacancies available, or would pay some such, if not all of the rent for low income residents within city limits. Just waiting on the moving paper so I can be about the personal business matters at hand. Moving right along. Okay. And with that having been said, then they hit the balls of conversation rolling. I have much earlier. I felt that this piece went down the wrong way. And I have to pay a visit to local business establishment of medical facilities, clinical property of a hospital in the loop follow up at the clinic. But then I remember what Dr. Nurse was like saying that if you don't choke within the first couple 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you're more likely you'll be okay. You know, because it could have possibly just scratched my throat. You know? But then lately, I've been finding myself waking up in quite a bit of pain. Not so much as mental compared to physical. You know, I'm wondering if this neighbor from damn hell could have something to do with it. You know, but now I'm gonna have to possibly do more home remedies for pain, as well as consider more stronger over-counter drugs, as well as much more stronger prescription medicine to relieve pain of the physical nature. You know? Just like back and forth from coming to death to experiencing, you know, like, like that being a relieved condition of symptoms as that being to comes to death to experience an exacerbated case of situation of it, you know. And whereas I myself have to be in pretty much so top tip shape if I want to take care of the necessary business at hand to find me another place of residence or apartment vacancy available for myself before that of my person and be kicked to the curb, as they say, or bounce out of here. So, anyway, though, I'm moving right along. Yes, anyway, it's present social media broadcast video. It's having to do with that being not just one, but two incidents that being in which I had become subjected to experiencing over a couple of days, consecutive days in a row, at the same place of business that sells food item products, you know, for human consumption, substances in question, and for a local vicinity area neighborhood community, 7-Eleven. I was supposed to be going to the soup kitchen tonight, but I had thought to compose this here one social media broadcast video for you all in reference to my experience at a local vicinity area neighborhood community 7-Eleven place of business. And like say, you know, in one of the much more prosperous, although not necessarily less crime ridden vicinity area neighborhood communities, somewhere close by to where I myself am presently a resident or tenant, but for a different vicinity area neighborhood community, but still being likewise prosperous and although not necessarily less crime ridden. And so, not once, but twice, not just one day, but 2 days in a row. So as I'm about to enter into this place of business establishment of a 7-Eleven convenience store for a given address location. I'm like, where's you know, first day being as it was yesterday, you know, I'm doing okay, and you? Anyway, getting back to something such as so I was answering that of a question that somebody in my comments section or had posted so far as the chat room part of this social media channel, you know, of a user just like asking a question I was just answering. All right, getting back to some such other. So the first day that I had experienced this incident was like yesterday, you know, and whereas as I'm about to go in, all of a sudden, but for that time it was like a Karen, as they would call a white girl, that sort of type. And whereas one minute she's on the sidewalk looking around like as if she herself has lost something or trying to find out where she put something on her person. And next thing you know, just as I'm about to enter the 7-Eleven convenience store, a place of business, she decides she wants to enter it at the same time that I'm trying to do so. Of a man's attention. All right. What the? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt with all things considered. So from there, something just told me something or somebody had got. I'm like saying, nah, that's good. I'll come back some other day. No. And so the next day, but this time the person was some kind of foreign looking guy or fella. I mean, where's the dude? I don't know whether he himself is an American citizen or a foreign immigrant, but I know he looked kind of foreign, like you know. And so he does the same thing that this white girl Karen had done the day before, you know, being which happened for the day. He does the same, you know. And so I'm like changing my mind again after I entered the convenience store for the second time for the second day in a row. I changed my mind again, just walked out, you know. And now I'm wondering, you know, if somebody could please inform my person, tell me, do I have some kind of poster on my back? Sorry, I wonder if I ate some of this pizza wrong, or pizza went down the wrong way. Seriously though, now I'm wondering, do I have some kind of poster on my back saying every Tom, Dick, and Harry, or or how should I put it, for the female gender? Otherwise, compared to those, you know, males of the masculine one, you know, or likewise for every, you know, how should I put it, Tabitha, Daphne, and Harriet, you know, Tabitha, Daphne, and Harriet. But seriously though, do I have some kind of poster on my back saying "mess with me" at some such a crucial time as this? Oh, thank you for that. Some of you said, "God bless you, brother." I appreciate that. Thank you. Uh, I think I'm gonna give a shout out to this user, and that because one has a religious, no offense meant to the other users, but one has a religious icon profile. Some user with the username of Clue says, "God bless you, brother." And you know, the majority of most of my videos, until further notice, will be of a religious nature. You know, and any others. That the reason I say why I say that is most of my videos will be of a religious nature until I get my 4,000 subscribers. Then maybe almost as much, if not as much, I will speak upon secular matters. Otherwise, of being of other content for other social media broadcast videos. Whereas this one that you all are getting now is to be considered as a freebie. You know, all expenses paid, so to speak. Then some mainly by me myself, which you all don't have to, you know, sponsor it compared to otherwise, you know. But, no, sir, I will not. I'm reading what this one user was like saying. I will not go into that. If you want to, you know, research matters in regard to my present life crisis dilemma, then all you need to do is to refresh your memory. I mean, you can read, can't you? You know, so far as, well, quite natural. I'm just saying, I was being sarcastic, but hopefully more on a positive note of interest than in a negative way. Hopefully, you're not one of those characters otherwise, you know. Read the intro as well as the footnotes, or check out a couple few of my earlier social media broadcasts of videos, and don't come off like an internet troll. And because The likes of characters is that being I will silence their chats, and then eventually, if they prove to continue to persist to be annoying and have me be reminded of reflect upon the very neighbor from damn hell you're asking a question about, whereas you can just research a couple few former previous prior videos of social media broadcasts that did that I had done is what I meant to say. Sorry about me butchering the English language, American, that what I meant to say that I had done or did previously. Then you will get more of a general idea of what I was saying about this character. But I do not wish to talk about this person of character as of the present given moment in time, because this is a totally, entirely new social media broadcast video. And as it is regarding making reference to the couple of incidents of the same kind of experience that I had become subject to experiencing at a convenience business store over a couple of consecutive days in a row. You know. So with that having been said, then could you please? I'd appreciate it. I wish to continue without any further ado or interruptions. So whereas you know I left the store then and there after entering this the second day in a row, and I'm wondering if I have acquired more stalkers. Because I'm like saying, no, 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 I cannot G for that. I'm not going for that. At this present given moment in time, stalkers or crank callers, because my life is on the line, literally on the line. I hope not to result of possibly swallowing a piece of the wrong way. Probably just scratch my throat. Go ahead, probably just scratch my throat. As doctors and nurses were saying at different hospitals, I had become subject to experiencing this issue before, of a problematic, dilemma situation in time past. They were saying that if you can still breathe, talk, and swallow, then you'll be okay. If you could what? Yeah, if you really wish to help, just leave information. If you know of any available apartment vacancies, then please, I'd appreciate it. Other than that, I do not wish to discuss matters any further in regard to this proverbial neighbor from damn hell. And furthermore, I do not give out any email prior to getting to know a person. I would have to first get to know a person before that were to happen. But then, let me ask you this I explain what's going on in my life. And anywhere in the city that has affordable apartment vacancies available, you know, places residence. Anyway, getting back to some of such others, and not that I mean to be rude. No, quite the contrary. Hopefully, nobody else took them to be or become like so, as I'm trying to give more than quite a few the benefit of the doubt, believe it or not. But anyway, getting back to some of such others. So I left that store, and I get thinking, well, it looks like I'm gonna have to find me like so far for that particular brand name store, or I could go to other stores by different names and that you know be conducting the same kind of business transaction. Because something like somebody has to be guys saying you need to find you another 7-Eleven. Then if 2 days in a row you're encountering characters acting like they're attempting to start something with you. You know, 1 minute they're walking the sidewalk like they and patting themselves, and then some looking around like they lost something, or trying to find out whether they misplaced something on their person or dropped it on the sidewalk somewhere nearby. And next minute, the very minute you try to enter the place of business of a store, all of a sudden they want to bomb rush the entrance way, all the same as you're trying to enter within for that atmosphere's premises and properties. So they kind of freaked me out. I just thought that I would share that with you all. Hopefully nothing was really, you know, of that, though my suspicion would tell me otherwise, because I sense the spider sensation, tingling, feeling. But then I'm not really looking forward to like possibly becoming subjected to experiencing that, like say a third consecutive day in a row, like say come tomorrow, because I could just choose not to go to that particular store come tomorrow on short notice if I feel that I have to. You know, I mean, I don't necessarily have to waste my food stamps. I mean, I got quite a few. I mean, I wouldn't be intending to either. That wouldn't make good sense. But I'm like saying, but sometimes you like to eat different things. I have quite a few stuff in my apartment, but you don't like to eat the same thing over and over again. Your taste buds, you don't want to kill them where they taste bud some and some could become bored with eating the same thing over. And sometimes you just have to risk your food stamps, running low, you know, then eat the same thing over and over again. But then I'm not about to waste any cash money, when I could be using that, saving up as much money as possible for my next move elsewhere. You know, oh wow. Are you going to continue with this here? I may have to silence your chat, if not block you altogether. One user in particular, please don't bring up again about any characters or proverbial neighbors from damn hell. Maybe there is something with this, maybe it's divine intervention, who can say, but I don't wish to discuss any further about something. But anyway, though, I'm about to close out shortly after, and I hope that you all had gotten something out of what I was saying. I mean, as you all know, for any social media broadcast, well, hopefully most, if not all, I would first of all give you the basic intro as an introduction, and then from there, oh, okay, so you're talking about the 7-Eleven counter, yeah, maybe who can say? But then from there, getting back to some such other, I will give you all the basic intro as an introduction, and then from there, I will speak upon a subject matter or topic of discussion to be debated, or give my views and opinions upon a given argument with the many different views and opinions to be feel associated with thereof and representing that being the same as said in question or the form requirements for whatever it may be for whatever content, be it one thing or another. It could be about some of anything and everything, that can be relevant to our times. Whether I were to speak upon one or a couple few, that all depends on how I feel at some given moment in time. And then last but not least, I will give the closing, you know, concluding with something a religious nature, or as it would be regarding making reference to that of the supernatural spiritual, so far as Christ's salvation for the world. And by saying in more words or less, even if I have to force myself to say some of such at times, not to mention if it would have come naturally for me to say some such as that being as believing God, believe it or not, as I am. Though at times I can play the part of the less to evil being a prodigal son, and where the worst of two evils is any of those closet devil worshippers who make up the majority of churchgoers of whatsoever religious denominations, from the pools to the pulpits. Anyway, though, let me just wrap things up by saying, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins, by realizing what He Himself had done upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, something at the hands of some such Roman soldiers up on the orders of their superiors, being of a militaristic, political, and religious nature. You know, from centurions to Caesars to Pharisees and Sadducees, but then they're less words. He went to that cross of Calvary to become the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me, so that any of us being of whatsoever race and whatever walks of life, fashion of society, lifestyle preferences, being an old, young, like both two sexual genders, males and females, represent not only the human species but the global community within this post 911 era of a new millennium apocalyptic day and age where the doomsday clock is now at a couple of few minutes to midnight compared on to how formed previous prior to then was a quarter midnight for these rather biblical people at that time. Whereas any of us, that's you as well as me, any of us, any of y'all, as well as me, were to profess some of such faith in him. Don't steal my trademark, you all. I have to copyright that sometime. So that if any of us, y'all, yours as well as me, were to possibly profess some such faith in him, from there we become and be blessed in one regard or another, more ways than one. First of all, with his salvation being of which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly become citizens of the kingdom of heaven. Because all roads do not lead to heaven. Don't believe what Oprah Winfrey was like saying, or anybody else for that matter. That's including the late supposed so-called Reverend Billy Graham, who could have been like Catherine Coleman of the dark forces of the underworld, perpetrating a fraud, pretending to be of the forces of light, because I hear that during his latter years, his last years upon the planet Earth, he started to adopt the Oprah Winfrey stance upon how to get into the kingdom of heaven. He started to say that all roads lead to the kingdom of heaven, like she was saying in one of her talk show episodes. And all roads do not lead to the kingdom of heaven. Anybody that believes that going to find themselves, once they were to exit this world, be in for a rude awakening. But anyway, getting back to what I was like saying as I'm trying to close out. But if any of us were to profess some of such faith in him, our Lord and Savior Christ, and decided to live from there, we would come be blessed in one regard or another, more ways one. First and foremost, with his salvation being in which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly enter into the kingdom of heaven to be considered as citizens thereof. And second of all, with his deliverance. But first, you have got to get his salvation. Otherwise, you have nothing coming so far as his blessing is concerned. And if you exit this world as make that transition for the great beyond the hereafter, afterlife, your final destination will be the lake of fire, damn hell, to be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, unbelievers and non-believers of lost damn human souls to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demon forever, compared to how we as believers in God will be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell in the company of like-minded believers, as in Protestants, of Christians, not Catholics, not supposed so-called Jehovah's Witnesses, not supposed so-called Latter-day Saints or any other false brethren, false prophet, or Antichrist, or religious cult members following a false religion, but a Protestant Christian, and as would be in the presence of God and his angels otherwise, because it's not BK, Burger King. You cannot have it your way, Oh, you think that you're going to party in hell and one regard another. Turn up the bottle, smoke from the pipe. It ain't like that. Then how you all like my t-shirt? America got to get back to its religious or supernatural spiritual roots, Then it act like it's shaking hands with the Vatican. The papers. You all take care and be safe. I'll get back with you all later. We out. Peace.